Hello, hello. I'm Melissa.
And I'm Donna.
We're here sharing what we've learned as women, entrepreneurs, and moms.
All while rocking our curves with confidence.
It's a behind-the-scenes look at our lives and businesses.
And a chance to tell our younger selves, go do the things that scare you. This one's a doozy. And I have to say, this one is a doozy for me because I'm very passionate about this. And I will have to say that part of this really defined me and is my trauma point.
Saying no?
Saying no.
Really?
Yep.
Please do tell.
So, I'm very passionate, I think is the word, to the point of like angry about teaching our young women to say no. Teaching them at a young age that it's okay to say no if someone wants to kiss you, even if they're a family member, and it's supposed to be no. No is a complete sentence. No is as a teenager, as things start changing, no. Like no. As a young adult, to bosses that ask you to work too late, to like that you're sacrificing your health with it. And I'll tell you, my journey. And this I've struggled with. Do I want to say this? Do I not want to say this? And I go back to the point of why are we doing this podcast? And it is to tell our younger selves.
Okay.
What would you tell your younger self? As a budding 12, 11, 13-year-old, I had a grandfather that would French kiss me.
You're going to make me cry.
And grab my boobs. So you come down from the bathroom. I mean, every time I came down from the bathroom, I would look to see if he was there because I knew if he met me at the bottom of the stairs, he was grabbing my boobs. Every time we saw him, he would try and French kiss. So you got good at closing your lips really, really close. And that's that, okay, this is a authority figure. This is a family member. This is someone you see all the time. When I was around, and I don't remember the exact age, I'm going to say 13. I believe it was grade school. I think you're 13 when you leave grade 8. We were at the cottage, and my grandfather was an alcoholic. He was a diabetic, and he was an alcoholic. They do not mix well. So, years of family adventures, the get-togethers that end up in alcohol fighting and all that, right? So it's just a volatile situation. So we're up at the cottage. He's up there. And, as your parents get older, you care for them. So my parents are caring for them when they're with them because they're late 70s, early 80s. I don't even know. I remember we're out on the beach. I go in to get something. He's in there sneaking booze, which he's not supposed to be having. And I'm in the kitchen. I'm in my bathing suit. And he chases me around the table. And he sticks his hands in my pants. Yeah. As a child, I don't think I knew at the moment what was going on. But I can picture the bathing suit I was wearing. I can picture the table. In a moment, it will come back. And yes, I did go and tell my father that time.
I'm sorry.
And I know. And it's something that just lives in me. And
But brave of you for talking about it.
Some days it's good and some days it's bad. And I think, that word trigger, that is a word that is newer, like to our generation with trauma. And I can see it in my situation where I can watch a movie, I can be at an event that deals with abuse or something, and something can trigger, and it's an emotion that just shuts you down or overwhelms or something, and I can't predict it. I can't regulate it. It just happens, and which is interesting. It's a different word. So going back, I wish I had that it's okay to say no. Right? Like I wish I had that strength in me to say no fucking way, at any of it, because
sad, though.
It is. And I had the courage to tell my mom and dad, And I remember sitting on the edge of their bed with my feet hanging over the edge of the bed because they still couldn't touch the ground. Like, that is the age. And having to tell them this, right? And did it mess me up? Yeah. I think it continues to mess me up. There's different things I'm sure that part of the weight that I carry is a protection zone.
For sure.
You know, does it mess up with my marriage? Yeah, it does, right? Like, it gets in the way times, and there's, you know, he's very patient and he's very kind, and, but there's a lot of trauma that happens with that. And I remember being in grade 9 or 10, sitting in, I don't even know what class it was. I think maybe it was a law class, and them talking about abuse.
And you were like,
yeah. The moment
right
dinged.
away.
Like, I remember sitting in the portable. I was second from the teacher, and my reaction was like, "Oh my
Holy
God,
shit.
that's me."
Yeah.
And that was my first. And I joked. I called him Fingers. That was my nickname for him,
It's not funny.
which I know is so inappropriate.
But it's how you dealt with it, right?
It was, right? Like, humor gets you
Yeah.
through a lot of shit. And so,
Donna.
you know, it's wishing so much that I had that confidence to say no when these things were happening, instead of feeling like, you know, this is my
Grandfather or whatever.
right. Yeah. Right. And you
Should never been put in that position.
you still have to go to family functions.
Yeah.
You still, he ended up with Alzheimer's and ended up in a home. And I did feel like God sort of took care of that for me,
Yeah.
and kind of, you know, which is a horrible thing to think
It's
about
not
your grandfather.
horrible. I
It's
know,
a
but
horrible thing to think about your grandfather, but, you know, and it's so icky. It's so shameful. I have carried shame with me, and I know it's not my shame to carry, but you do. You feel like, should I not have done something? Should I, you know, but this is a child. This is a freaking
Should never been
child
put in that position. To
that
begin
should
with.
never be. And so I have rage inside of me when it comes to situations of domestic abuse and, you know, bad environments for women. And it you know, it just makes my blood boil. Because why? Because you're stronger? Because you think you can? Like,
I don't know.
fuck right off. Pardon the French, but it just makes me so angry. So, you know, my children, when they went away on their first away trip,
Yeah.
I can't even tell you the panic that
Sure,
I
I can see
had.
that.
You know, never did I let my children sleep anywhere that I didn't know was safe and protected. And you never know 100%. But when they went away, I sent my children with a fork in their suitcase. And I said to them, if anybody touches you, you stab them with the fork. It'll leave marks so people know what happened.
Yeah.
And you call me
Smart.
right away. But you're not going to sever an artery. Hopefully. It may just sprinkle a little
Oh
bit.
my gosh,
But
Donna.
that's a, you know, when Mel Robbins talks about the lens that you see life through is different from others. And you
Yeah.
have to be really, like, because I can guarantee you that 30 other mothers in that room never thought, oh, I'm going to send my kid with a
No.
fork because...
Yeah. This happened
like
to
what
me.
happens, right? And there probably is some other one in that room that deals with it differently. It happens, like mine, I feel like was very top level of what could have happened, right?
And that was it, the situation?
Yes.
You was done at that?
It was. So,
Your parents dealt with it?
well, interesting enough. So my parents and I had a very tumultuous teenage years, and, you know, trauma going on, stuff going on, finding my own way. My father was very, boys can do everything and girls can't, and I'm very, oh yeah, watch. We can, especially with
Look
going
at
through
me.
that. Yeah. Right. So there was a lot of friction with that. What I didn't know in the therapy that happened in my early 20s was that my father talked to my grandmother and said, look, never again can this ever happen. But I didn't know that. So I spent the next 4 or 5 years
In fear.
just not knowing that anyone was taking care of the situation. And I still had to go to family functions. So it was like it never happened. Wow. So looking back, And I told my folks, I said, I wish I had known.
Yeah.
Like, to me, it felt like no one cared. And they did. I'm sure, I can't even imagine how they would feel finding that out. I did have a cousin that took her life when she was in high school on that side of the family. And that was okay, is something going on with someone else? Because that family was much closer to my grandfather. So at that time, I reached out to my girl cousins and I said, okay, if you have had any of this, like, you need to talk to someone and you need to, but other than that, other than my close high school friends, nobody really knew.
Your kids know?
I think I kind of had a conversation, and that's the thing, right? Like, you don't want to lay that on people. No. It's hard. It's a lot.
It is a lot.
People, it's just icky, right? Like, it's so icky.
You're brave for talking about it.
Well, I don't think I'm brave. I think, like, as we are doing, like, our younger people need to know that, okay, like, I've had a wonderful life. I have had a wonderful life. And as much as that happened,
I know,
it made me much stronger. Because by the time I finished high school, man, I had a whole list of things that I did not want in a boy.
Nope.
Like, no. So when I got together with Sean, I was like, okay, this is me in a nutshell. This is what I've been through. And like, no. Wow. If you're good with that, then okay, let's go.
Good for you. Well, thank you for sharing that.
And
it's brave. I still say it's brave.
It's so important to tell our younger girls that, you say no. You say no so many times.
You do. I don't have girls, so it's interesting. But on the other side of that token, as a boy mom, I've had this conversation with the boys, and I've talked about it in many respects. Like I said, if you are with somebody, whether it's a male or a female, whoever you're with, I said, there is no being with that individual when they are under the influence of alcohol or they're under the influence of drugs. And a no is a no, no matter where you are in that process of the moment, whether it's at the beginning, whether it's you are almost finished, whether you are done. Like, a no is a no, and that means stop. I don't give a shit. Like, I don't tolerate it, and I'm not in that situation, but I've talked to them every single time they've gone out, or I'm going to go meet this person, or I'm going on a date, or this is happening. And I started that really young, very, very young.
Which is so important, right? And if we don't have the conversations, then the bad stuff, like, nobody, because it's uncomfortable to talk about the bad stuff.
It's very uncomfortable. But I think everyone needs to talk about it. And that's one thing that I've talked about with my boys. I pride myself on honesty, open conversations. My mom was very open about a lot of things. We talked about a lot of different things. And I said, I'm not going to be that parent that doesn't talk about it, because it could be any situation, right?
It can be, right? Like, it could
be just your, like I said, even just a hand on the leg. No is no, or it's a put my arm around you. No, a hug. No, like, a no is no. No, like, it doesn't matter what it is. Like,
yeah. And it happens at different levels. It happens, like, it could be just a total random stranger. Yep. Like, you hear horrible stories about women. It could be a partner that is just, right? Like, and
it's true. Yeah.
Like, you should never ever feel like you have to succumb and have to give of yourself. So yes, teach and no to both boys and girls. It is a big one.
I had a boyfriend once, and I remember he wanted to kiss me, and I was like, no. And he was like, I want to kiss you. And I was like, no. And he grabbed me and he kissed me, and I have, like, a tooth, like, is broken, my teeth hit his teeth. And I was so livid. And I remember when
punch him in the face.
I know, but when I first met Paul was like, why are you kissing me? And I'm like, not ready for that. I'm not ready for that. That's not something, like, that is in, like, I was so uncomfortable to kiss Paul when I first met him. And I think it's just, like, even now to think about it, like the flashbacks, it's like, I remember where I was, my parents' basement, and he was someone that I had dated previously, and it's just like, what the hell, man? And I remember Paul being like, why don't you want to kiss me? I'm like, has nothing to do with you. And I remember when I told him, he was like, oh, I understand. And he was always like, no worries, no rush. Like,
Yeah.
it is what it is. But Donna.
So
Yeah.
teaching no is pretty, a little bit a little bit.
Yeah, but it's a
psycho
good thing,
about it,
right?
but
no in
yeah.
all aspects is a important
It
thing.
is.
Right? And you say no to your boss, right? So many people work so many hours because they feel they have to. Or I was in a position where I work with someone too, and it's like, can you work for me here in real estate? Can you do the stuff in my own house after? Like, it became, there's lines, not bad lines, but it's like it carried over from work to personal life and helping with stuff. And it's like points that get too much, and you're like, ugh, like, why can't I say no? Like, why can't I say no? And they're like, are you trying to impress someone, or is it the moment? Or, but yeah, good for you. Thank you for sharing that. Kind of like rocked my core again. The second thing today that rocked my core.
It's one of those things that you really don't want to have to talk about. And I joke, but it's real, that it's like having that closet with all those balls in it, and if you open that closet, all the balls fall out.
Does it feel good to talk about it though?
No, it never feels good to talk about it. And so that's why I've struggled as we've gone through this podcast. Do I, don't I? But the message behind it is that, yes, if you are a young girl and anything is happening to you, you need to tell someone. You need to say no. You do not have to live like that.
There's a lot going on right now.
There is.
A lot of like human trafficking.
Yes.
And these young girls that are like all of a sudden.
And I think social media just amplifies that. Like,
and not in a good way.
No, not in a good way, unfortunately. The good of it is that there is the messaging out there more. Like, no, you do not have to put up with this. No, you do not, yes, there are resources out there available for you. Although, like, there's always evil, there's always bad things that happen, and that is part of life, and you have to be able to get through them, because getting through them, like, I look back and I think, I've had such a beautiful, wonderful life.
Yeah.
Despite the negatives.
Yeah, but to go through that, I'm going to say so long ago, but like back then, when it wasn't spoken about, and when people weren't talking to people about things or seeing a therapist, or to have, you feel alone in that situation, but to be brave enough to speak to your parents about it, it's huge.
Yeah, I was super proud of myself for that. Not that, like, as an adult, I look back and I think, that was a big one.
It's huge, not a big one. That's like massive, right? And then to go through therapy at such a young age, right? Because even therapy wasn't really spoken about.
Therapy was interesting because I went to therapy as a teenager because of the volatility with my parents and me. And I'm sure, a good portion of it had this trauma built in there, but just hidden, like not really knowing what I was dealing with. And I don't think, like, they knew what dealing with. I mean, my father came from he was abused as a kid, and eventually he stood up to his father, and my father broke that cycle. He never ever hit us, of all. I am so proud of him for that. Huge. Yeah, that's a big thing. It's really big. To stop.
Yeah. Wow. To know that about you, Donna. Thank you for sharing that.
Well, that's a real happy. I know, and like, I don't want to be negative or any of that, like, because there's
the awareness of the word no, right?
Yes.
And what you would tell your younger self, and what you would tell the younger generation, or even any person going through something. It doesn't have to be the younger generation, because there's a lot of people that are in that situation at an older age, or in a work situation. It doesn't have to be sexual abuse.
Yes.
It could be like emotional
that you're losing
abuse.
Your mental health because you're not able to say no. Or
just being able to say no in situations that make you uncomfortable. And it's okay to say no. It's okay that it's no, and that's it. Like, there doesn't need to be
a reason
for it. And I think we always try to reason. No because, or no this, but no is a sentence. And it's okay just to say no.
There we go. Personal wins and saying no unapologetic. Okay, you go. I've shared enough.
Well, I don't even know. I don't feel like I've ever said no. I think I'm a yes person. I think more so the last year I've been a no person. I think with work and the different types of work I do, I think I've said no to a lot more things in the last little while. At one time with the hockey team, I felt just because Paul wasn't in town, he was very busy away from town. I felt like I was saying yes to a lot of things. So yeah, maybe this year I said no, I'm not going to be that person in hockey. I'm going to say no to this side of it, and I will continue doing this side of it. So more so now I say no, but I think I'm still a yes person. I like to do things, but maybe they're not good for me.
I think we're people pleasers.
Yeah. I say yes to a lot of things. Given a situation, it's not a bad situation, but I was in a situation where I was doing business with an individual, and I think we thought we were friends. I thought I was friends, and I was saying yes to what I was doing, and in terms of yes, I'll keep paying and doing it, maybe in the hopes that it would be better friendship. And then at the end, I realized it was really a one-sided friendship. Like, I was yes to the friendship side of it and yes to the business side of it, and the other side was only yes to the business side of it, and the friendship was only out of convenience for them. So that was a hard one for me. And when that person not available anymore, I was just like, block.
It's two-way, right?
Right. So
there are friend suckers, blood suckers, friend
suckers
out there that you have to be aware of.
Yeah. And I do say no to a lot of like friendships that are one-sided now. I feel like, there are people that you can really relate to and you can talk about lots of things with, right? I have probably a handful of them. I don't have more than that, but I don't want to, I don't know. With work, I'm a no person. Like, I'm saying no more. I don't fill my days continually with work. So I giving time for myself to be like, okay, like I felt like last week was a very busy week for me. I told you that I felt like it was so much. And then this weekend I was like, yeah, I think I'm going to review the podcast. And then I was like, no, I'm going to watch Housewives. So I watched Housewives yesterday. And I went to bed. I was in bed at 8:37 last night. And I was like, hey, I needed that. I woke up at 6:45 this morning. I meditated, but like, I'm saying no to more than I would have before.
Getting better at saying no.
Yeah. But I'm definitely a yes person and a people pleaser. I like doing things. I don't know. It's a hard one because I look at myself and I'm like, when I think about it, I have situations where I say yes to a lot. It's even like we talked about doing the podcast, right? You're like, do you want to do it? Yes, I want to do it. Right. And then we're like, is it too much? And we're like, yes, it's probably too much. And then it was like, okay, well, let's give it all to someone else to do. Thank you, Jim, for doing it all.
Big time.
Yes, Jim. But I wanted to do the there's things that I want to do that I'll say yes to, but I don't want to do the background work. So I'm saying no to a lot of back end stuff of things, right? Like, yeah, the hockey team for me was a big one this year. I said no to a lot of the management side of it. I kind of washed my hands of it. It's just too much in my brain. And then I don't know. I keep saying I don't know, but it's hard for me.
It is. I went to this seminar. I don't even know what to call when you get a webinar in real person. Is this a seminar? I don't even know anymore.
I'm like a class.
Yeah. So it was these two ladies in media, and I was invited from a legal firm. I may have told you this story or not, so I may be repeating myself. Mm-hmm. But they invited me to this thing that was out at Paletta Mansion. It was in February. It was a ice stormy kind of thing. So like you're walking up the sidewalk, and we're all like kind of scooting because it's all super slippery. It was hilarious. And got in there. It was a beautiful, beautiful night. The snow was falling and all that, but we all had to be super careful. So it was all women in the room. These two ladies got up and spoke, and they have a book out, and they spoke about being leaders in the media industry back in the 80s when it was very rare for women to be in that industry. They worked in Toronto, very well known, very well respected in their communities, and they learned how to say no. And it was a really cool exercise. So we broke off into groups. So we're all sitting at these round tables in the evening ambiance. Yes, snow falling. It was really a magical night. And so the task was, they broke them into 4 categories when they're making a decisions. What is the best thing that happens if I say yes? What is the worst thing that happens if I say yes? What is the best thing that happens if I say no? And what is the worst thing that happens if I say no? So, and it's not just one thing, right?
Yeah.
So you go through those 4 decision-making skills if you're struggling, right? What is the best thing that's going to happen if I say yes? So they gave us each, our table had like real life situations. Like one is, I think our group was, I'm on mat leave and a job came up that is my dream job. Do I take it and go back early or do I pass on it?
Ooh.
I know, right? That's a real life one, right?
It is a real life one. I feel like I answered that one though. I feel like I was in my dream job.
Yeah.
And it was like I was working and you ask those questions. What's the worst, like, what's the best thing if I stay? Okay, I still stay working. I love what I'm doing. Right? I don't know. If I say no, then it's like I'm not working, but I'm taking care of my kids, right? And that's just as magical as. Do you know that when you're in it, though?
And I think it's all very situational, right? Like if you're in your 20s, it's your first kid, and that's a much different scenario than if you're in your 50s.
I'm laughing because
if you're in your 50s and you're getting pregnant, oh my God.
Yes. I will be there. But then you could be like, no, because I want the break, right? Like,
yeah, like it's so situational. But I thought, and I've used it many times, and I wish I could remember the name of the book and the name of the 2 women. I'm going to find that out, and we'll put that in the notes here so anybody can reference it, because it was great to hear them speak. I love hearing women in their industries, show.
And such an industry in the 80s, right?
Yeah, I know. Like how I'm sure they had some real good party stories.
Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Like, yeah. But I've used it multiple times, even with our group in a meeting. It's like, okay, let's make a decision. What is the best thing that happened, worst thing that happens if we say yes, best and worst if we say no, and go through it. And it just helps you, especially if there's a group of you.
Yeah, I could see that.
Because you may not see things from
their perspective.
You'd be like,
one-sided if you're talking to yourself. Yes. Oh, it's all good. Don't worry. It's all good. I'll be doing that.
And then team members bring up all other ideas. Like, okay, Donna, bad idea.
Yeah, no kidding. Oh, that's interesting. Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's find out who that's about.
Yes, I will.
Yeah, so I don't know. With me, I think I still say yes a lot. I probably should say no a lot more, but I'm getting better at it. Maybe it's just because I'm older and wiser, or because things have gone on in my life where it's like, yeah, that's a little too much. And I can feel it when it's too much. So I think when I start to feel it when it's too much.
Listen to that gut.
Yeah. I'm like, nah, I'm okay. Like, do you want it? I try to space out my work so that it's easier. Not easier, but it's just not overwhelming, because I used to be able to go all the time. I could probably still go all the time, but the reality is I don't want to go all the time. I want to have the time for myself. I want to have time to decompress, to do the things for me, the things that light me up, the things that keep me going in work, right? Like there's days I need to create in the jewelry space so that I can be like, oh, that's so good. And then, like yesterday, I was watching Housewives. I was like, oh, why am I just being lazy today? And I'm like, oh, we've had such a busy weekend. And then I was lying there, and then I started thinking of ideas for jewelry. I'm like, oh my God, I got out my pen and I wrote it down. I'm like, well, that stamp I got, I'm going to cut it out like this, and I'm going to make 2 charms like that. And I was like, oh, and then Paul was napping or whatever. And I'm like, Paul, had this great idea. Let me tell you about it. So I think it gives me more creative edge, allows me to do more in all my businesses, right? When I take the time. I should learn to say no more. I will. I promise.
Or say yes less.
Yeah. No, that's true. Yeah. Yes less. You need that as a shirt.
Yes
less.
I'm a yes less.
Yes less person. Yes less. Stories of giving yourself or others grace. Meaning grace, like when they have said no or said yes, or stories of yourself or others.
Yes, I think hearing no is sometimes hard.
Mm-hmm. Saying no is hard.
Saying no is hard. And hearing no is hard too. And sometimes that's a give yourself some grace
Situation.
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea what a story of giving myself grace. If I said no to something and been okay with it, that's like,
For sure. Like, how, because there's so much guilt with saying no,
yeah,
right? There's so much guilt with saying no.
yeah. I wish, and then you start thinking, then your mind starts going, well, if I didn't say no, this would have happened. And if I didn't say no, I could have done this or would have been like this. But like you said, saying no is a sentence, and it's okay to stop at that and then do the thing that you want to do, or do the thing how it's supposed to be done, or whatever the situation be.
I think funny, like just the other night, we had a whole bunch of people at the house, and someone's like, okay, well, how do I stay over? Like with cars on the road. Right?
Stay over.
And I'm like, okay, you got to call in, you got to write into down Oakville and register your car. Old me probably would have been, oh, give me your plate number and I'll do it for you, right?
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, okay, they're adults. They can do it themselves.
See, I think it goes back to like.
But then you still feel guilty that you're not doing it all.
Yeah. But for me, I think it's good because I've done everything myself. Like I feel, not that I've done everything myself, but I've never worked with anybody. So I feel like you're able to delegate better than me. Like you're able to have other people, and you're able to maybe, that might be easier for you. I don't know. Maybe it's not easier for you to say no. But like for me, I've never really had to respond to anybody but myself. I tell myself yes and no. But
it's funny because we have some stuff in November that I have to say no to because we have personal stuff going on. And I think I would just lose my mind if I don't. And I have so much guilt with saying no, like so much. Like I'm like, I've been trying to work around in my head. How can I do a workaround? How can I make this work? How can I do it all?
I see that.
How can I do it all instead of just saying, okay, girl, like
can't.
if you could just sit out this year, like just sit it out. It's all going to be okay. Because I don't know, as much as you have a team, I don't want to deflect everything because you feel like you're deflecting. Very much
the
about
point of having a team.
It is, but I'm very much like, I'm there, right? I'm there to help. We get it all done together. I don't want to feel like I'm not there. And I very much feel like I'm not there. And so being able to pull back from some things that, okay, like we got lots going on. This is our busiest time of the year. What is it we're going to say no to? And
do it. I think that's what Paul's taught me that a lot, because I find Paul can delegate and he can easily assign. And I always say that to him. I'm like, man, I just wish I was more like you in that respect. Like it's easy for him to have an employee and be like, okay, well, you're going to paint the walls today. And I'd be like, don't touch the walls. I'm going to paint the walls. Like, don't touch my work. Right. Or you're going to do that, or you're going to do that. And then with the hockey team, he says to me, Melissa, that's why we have a coaching staff. He's like, you don't need to tell them what to do. Like, you don't need to put it in the chat to do all of this. Like, they know that already. Like, I maybe, like with certain things, I'm always like, what about this? He's like, that's why we have a GM, or that's why we have a coach, and that's why we have a trainer. He goes, just.
How is it? Because we're like had little kids and we're used to like.
I don't know.
Doing the shoes and the pants and the coats and the
everything,
right? Do we just not be able to lose that? But I don't know. Is it just because we're?
But then when you lose it for a bit, it's like freedom, and you can feel it. And you're like, oh, this feels good. Like it makes you feel lighter. Like
because we're anal. No. We just can't let go of things.
No, I think it could be all that. I think it's because we're so used to going and so used to doing so many things that when you get to a certain point, you're like, okay. Yes, it's okay to say no. Let's take a minute and not do everything, and or maybe spread it out so it's not going to affect us the same way as doing it all in a day, and know that we have more time in our days. That's the biggest one for me, is realizing that there are lots of hours in a day, and that I don't need to do everything before 2:00 in the afternoon, and that I can still do stuff at 3:00 or 4:00 or 5:00 or 8:00 or 10:00. Like, it's okay to like take an hour and stop and eat. How about that one? Stop and eat.
Go for a walk.
Like,
Get some mental space.
Like, for me, working out, I love going to the gym, and I always like battle with myself about going, and I know
I'm joking.
I do, I know, but I
love that for you.
I know. I love that for you. I like just going and how I feel after. Like, I don't know what it is, but I haven't lost weight, so it doesn't really matter, but I love the feeling I have after. And then, it's like, oh, but I like to do it at 8:00 in the morning. I like to work out early. Okay. So if I could be up at 6:00 and work out, I could, but in the last little while, I've taken the time to like sleep in a bit. So now I'm getting up at like 7 or 7:30 because I know that sleep component that I'd been losing out on is so important. It's just as important as going to work out. Right. So this morning I worked out at like 8:30, and then I was like, but then there's parts of the day where like I could work out at 2:00, right? Like, why do I have to work out only at 8:00? So I think for me, it's about knowing my time in a day, how much time is in a day, and realizing that, you know what, I can work later. I can say want a nap in the afternoon, or I want to have a nap at 10:00 in the morning, or I want to watch Housewives at 8 in the morning. I can do all that because I know I still have time in the day. I've realized that there's time in the day, and it's not like 9 to 5, right? Especially being an entrepreneur.
Yes. You're
right?
fluid.
Like,
very
you have
fluid.
to be.
Yep.
And it's okay. Like, some days I'll start with real estate and I'll end with jewelry, or some days I'll be like working jewelry all day, and then I get a call, show a home, or come do this or come do that, and I go do that, and I'm like, this is okay too, right? Like, last week I showed homes, I don't know, Thursday morning for a few hours, came home, sat, and I created jewelry all afternoon. And I was like, okay, this is good. It feels good. And before, the struggle would be, but no, I need to do jewelry all day, or I need to do real estate all day. But no, I don't. I need to do the things that light me up. I need to do the things that feel good, and I need
Pay
to
the bills. Yeah.
and understand that I can do this in the day. That's why I am an entrepreneur, is so I can do multiple things. I don't need to just do this and this and this, right? So, give myself grace. I don't give any grace. I don't think I'm.
How are you with telling yourself no?
I suck. Like, no in what? Like, no, you're not going to go to work today, or no, you're
Donna,
not.
don't eat those cookies.
Oh, well, no, I'm not very good at that. No, like, don't eat the baklava for breakfast this morning.
Right? As soon as someone tells me no, I'm like, watch how I can get this done too.
Watch it. Maybe I need people to tell me no more, and then I'd be like, yeah, okay. Instead of
It's funny how that word is. I am such a rebel. As soon as that word comes out, even if it's to myself, and I know that whatever I'm supposed to be doing is good for me, it's man. Like,
so true.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Don't tell me no.
I think when people say, I'm the same. When people say no to me, I'm more like, yeah, okay, I'm going to do this.
Yep, totally.
Even with myself. Melissa, no, you're not going to eat that.
Fire. Oh, yeah, watch me.
Then I'm going to eat the whole cake, okay? I'll show you, Melissa. Not just one piece. I can eat the whole cake today, or I'm going to eat the whole sandwich, or whatever it is. Yeah, no, I'm the same. That no word to myself. Not good with it at all. Not good. Total rebellion.
Yeah. Like, I am not going to stay up and watch TikTok.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm going to go to bed. I'm in bed at 9 o'clock because I'm going to bed. And I'm not going to watch TV. And here I am watching, like, episode 3 of Love is Blind the other night.
It's just one more show. Yeah. Just one more.
Okay.
I know,
well, it's
right?
10:30. Yeah. It's okay.
Telling ourselves no is sometimes the hardest.
I should just put that on the phone. Are you saying no to yourself tonight? Think yes. Yes, you can do this. No, I don't really want to do it then. I don't really want to do that.
I've not yet mastered that one.
Take a long time. No, it's so crazy. It's crazy how the mind does that. Like, so different though. But I think it's.
And I know so much of it is from my teenage years being told no, and I'm like, oh yeah, watch me.
I wasn't told no a lot. Maybe that's the problem. But I don't know what I did. I don't remember. Like, I feel like I was not a real like crazy teenager either. I've also been with Paul since I was 14, so didn't really do much. Been dating since 14. Saying no since I was 14. Doing that. No, I'm not going to go enjoy life. I'm just going to be dating someone forever. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Craziness in my life. I don't know, Ms. Donna. Celebrating do-overs. Have you celebrated a do-over?
Celebrated a do-over.
What's considered a do-over?
What is?
Coming back to real estate
Yeah.
Is that a do-over?
I think so. Why wouldn't it be?
I feel like it's a do-over.
I feel like it's a do-over.
I feel if I was the same person today as I was back then, I'd be a different realtor. So it is a do-over. I feel that back then I was always saying yes, maybe. First of all, I didn't have kids, so it was very different. It was just Paul and I was doing a lot of different things, working all the time, working for an agent, not working for an agent, then working by myself. All I had was myself to really worry about. Go, 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 go. But I feel like I probably said a lot more back then to people, even situations, thinking, like, now you're making me think, see, we're talking, and then I'm like, makes you think, right? Yeah. So thinking about saying yes to a lot of things was probably too much for me. Yeah. Even in like negotiating was a little bit different. I think that being away and coming back and having experiences in life has taught me to be like, no, I'm not going to do that, or that is not how I would run my business this time, or I'm not going to be that gentle with a client. I'm going to be a lot more honest. But I also think that comes from experience in real estate, because I didn't have a lot of experience to talk about
Which
things.
builds that confidence.
Yeah. Like, I always joke, but people are saying, oh, I remember in the 80s, interest rates were like 18%, 19%. I was like, I was 10 playing with Barbie dolls in 1989. Like, not worrying about interest rates on a house.
We had a house.
Really?
Mm-hmm. We were 18, 19 when Sean and I bought our first house with my dad.
What was the interest rate? Do you remember?
It was double digit. Like,
it
started with a 1. I can't remember if it was 13 or 18 or what.
Do you remember what you paid for it?
80,000.
Oh my God.
It was in Sarnia. And that was our first reno house. We did tons of work on that house.
That's crazy cool though.
We laid grass the day we got married because we were coming back to the house before Sean and I left on the
Should have had a
honeymoon.
grass party.
We did. Well,
not that kind of grass party.
they were out there rolling the grass and bringing picnic tables from the water park to the house for people to sit on.
I've always said that to people. I joke around about that. Like, they're
The
like,
day I'm in the house getting dressed, and I'm like, Sean can't see me. And they're out rolling the grass. We just, I think the day before, finished the fence on the side of the yard. Yeah.
And you were 19?
Well, when we bought the house, and then we did all the walls, we did the floors, sanded the floors ourselves. This is the house where I killed the spider. This was my first spider kill that I remember. And then we tore down a garage. That was super fun, bringing in a big backhoe and tearing down this garage. Was all cement.
You've been buying real estate since 1989.
And those cement bricks, they all went up to the cottage and became the base of the big hobby barn that my dad built.
That's really cool.
So a lot of...
I put my down payment on my first house at 19. That's crazy that you said that. I didn't know that. And I remember how scary that was.
Yeah.
And it was like we'd just gotten engaged. It was last year of college, and I was like, let's do it because the house won't be ready for a year. And I remember, I think the deposit was like $5,000 or something, brand new. And ours was $170,000. And we had to make the decision whether we were going to, because we wanted the end unit, but we were making the decision whether we pay $5,000 for the ensuite or $5,000 for a premium lot. I picked the lot, of course. Mm-hmm. Location. I could always build a bathroom. And that's what we did. We turned this massive closet into a bathroom. And it's crazy because I looked it up recently. The second bedroom still has Nathan's light in it from when we put up Nathan's light. Like, it was Nathan's bedroom, right? It has this like sunlight from IKEA. And I was like, they did not. And I'm like, yep. Still the same hardwood in the house. Still the same color walls. The bathroom still looks the same. I was like...
They become your little babies.
Oh my God. If I could buy that house, I would buy it. It's probably like $800,000 now. I wouldn't be $800,000 for it.
I can't imagine being a kid these days trying to buy a house.
No. But... For me, 19, we put the down payment in. It was so scary. I was like, oh my God, what are we doing? This is nuts. Paul worked at Ford then. It was great. And I remember when we went to close, I was so new in real estate that I didn't realize you'd get a phantom mortgage, right? Because it was a condo townhouse. And I was like, oh, okay. And they're like, no, you're just going to pay rent. And I'm like, pay rent. Don't I get a mortgage? And they're like, no. It's this. And I remember our lawyer reading the documents. He's like, Melissa, sign the papers. They're charging you like $700 a month rent. And it's supposed to be like the interest rate times. And at that time, interest was, when we bought our house, it was 9.2, which was high,
Yeah.
And then we moved in and I think it went to like 6%. And we were like $2,400 payment when we signed. When we moved in, it was, I think, like $1,700. And then we bought our second house, and the second house was $290,000. Interest rate was 1.9, and it was like $300 a month cheaper.
Crazy, eh?
Than that.
Real estate's a crazy ride. Crazy ride.
So do-over, yeah. In real estate, for me, I think real estate's a big do-over. I feel like I can be a lot more confident in my career now, and I can talk from experience, and it makes me feel I don't know, it makes me feel better about it. Makes me feel better about being in real estate. I feel like I have a lot of experiences to share. Like when I talk to people, or when they're like, oh my God, you've had your license since when? I said, I got my license in 2000. Like I've been here for a while, just not here for a little bit, but I've been like buying, selling homes, doing that sort of thing.
Experience never goes away. It never
dates. But when I started,
you just learn more.
Yeah, when I started, it was like, no, I felt like a dummy. I don't know. Not like I feel like a fraud. Not even like a dummy. Like I'm trying to sell real estate and
green.
Talk about very green. I remember this one client. He calls me and we ended up buying this townhouse. It's a really nice townhouse. I get a call from the lawyer, from him 3 days before. And he's like, Melissa, I forgot to get my mortgage. And I'm like, maybe you forgot to get a mortgage. I'm like, we didn't put conditions in there. He had a home to sell. He was selling his home through divorce. Anyway, I'm like, what? I feel like such a potato. Anyway, like,
I forgot to get a mortgage.
What the heck am I? I'm gonna, like, so scared. And he calls me. He's like, trying to deal with all these kids at the bank. They're like all under 25 years old. They don't know what they're doing. Like not like dealing with you. And I was like, buddy, if you knew I was 21. I'm like, man, oh man. So
that's hilarious.
It was. And I never forget that. And then after I told him, I'm like, do you even know how old I am? I'm like, no. And I said, well, I'm not going to tell you then. So you're going to be like, this lady's crazy. But yeah, I think the do-over for me has been real estate. Would I do anything over in life? I think we talked about it before. I'd like to do a lot of things over, but no. I wouldn't, because then I wouldn't be here today exactly who I am with the experiences I had. Good and bad,
right?
Ups and downs.
It makes you who you are.
Yeah.
It may take you a while to figure that out, but it really makes you who you are.
I say that to my boys all the time. I'm like, it's okay. Like, you need to fail
forward.
Yeah.
Even if it's not necessarily failure. Like I look at my trauma, and it really it made me grow a backbone, because I was a very meek, mild kid.
I could never see that.
Thank you. I love that. But I was very, very timid, very shy.
Wow. Yeah, it probably made you a little...
Cat Morgan made me grow a lot of courage back in high school.
Fireball!
There wasn't Fireball there. Blue Carasso.
Yeah, I don't know how to say that.
Remember.
I don't know.
That Wildberry coolers. Those
Mine
were
was Goldschlager.
Now, my father used to make homemade wine.
Oh.
And as a underage kid,
it's great.
It was. So he would store it in these big magnums. And they were in the crawl space. So I would sneak down in the crawl space, and you had to hunch right over, and it was on the back wall. So you had to like crawl to the back wall, and there were cases of them. And so I would take the top box off, and then I'd take the next layer off, and then the next layer I'd go to the bottom layer, because you got to drink a lot to get to the bottom layer. And I take out a magnum and I put them all back up, and then I go hide it in my closet. And that was and I would do funnels with this wine.
Oh my God.
I would do shots. Like I had no sense of control. So when my kids were going through, like, because, I didn't know.
No.
So yeah, many a bad stories. I remember this one time. Oh, yeah. We were having a party, and I had way too much, and I'm kneeling on the ground, and my girlfriend is holding my big hair ponytail, and I'm getting rid of the wine, but I'm sneezing, so I'm hitting my chin on the toilet seat, and was just such a disaster.
Sure, it's beautiful colors.
Oh my God. I can't even. Yeah.
One time I've really been drunk in my life. One time.
Just once?
Just once. I can honestly tell you that. Like, really, really, really drunk. I was with my girlfriend, Monica. It was my maid of honor. We were at her house. She had a house way before anybody. And I remember just like drinks. They were just flowing. Boom. And I think she was all like, it was like Malibu at that time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that stuff is like
yeah.
dangerous, right? So Malibu and orange juice. Melissa, try Malibu and orange juice. Malibu and orange juice. Malibu and orange juice. Have another, sure. And I remember coming home. I must have been like, had to have been under 19. Had to have been, because she was a little bit older than me. And I remember just being in the bathroom and just getting rid of it. And my dad's like, are you okay? And I said, no. I said, I had some bad KFC. And I had worked at KFC prior, so it was even worse. That was my first job. And I'm like, oh, we ate KFC at Monica's. I don't think it was really good.
With me.
And I'll never, but my brother, he had no problems coming home. He was there in the bathroom. My dad was holding his head. I'm like, what the heck, Mike? I'm like, you tell them? He's like, oh, no. But no, one time.
Oh, my God.
Listen, I do feel tipsy. Don't get me wrong. Like, wine is the worst. I'll drink wine and want to go to sleep. But no, one time I can honestly say I was not.
My funniest story is, and I don't think I've ever told my kids this, but so I went out to get my hair done on a Tuesday night. My mom's out of town.
That is party time.
And I had called my boyfriend at the time to pick me up after. And I don't know if we were actually dating or not yet. So he picked me up and he took me to his uncle's apartment. Okay, which, yeah, red flags go up right there. Should have known better. But we start drinking on a Tuesday night after getting my hair done. So it's like 9:30. I get home like at midnight on a Tuesday night. My dad was so pissed. I got the strap.
Oh my gosh.
But I was too drunk to know I got the strap. So I wake up in the morning and the back of my legs hurt. And I'm like,
what?
I thought that was a dream, but it was real. So my father, I mean, I will say I've heard my father cry twice in his life. And that was the first time I've heard him cry, was that night, because it took a lot for him to do that to me.
Yeah.
I needed it, like totally needed it.
I think sometimes we do need it.
We do. Like, it's
listen.
a Tuesday night and you're going to get your hair done. You come home at midnight drunk.
On a Tuesday. Nothing good happens after midnight, but nothing happens good on a Tuesday night. Never mind midnight. Nothing happens good after 8 o'clock on a Tuesday. Oh, my gosh.
Mm-hmm. Funny. I look back and I think, oh, yeah. So when my kid was a wild child, I was like, yeah, my mother's laughing.
Yep. It's payback. It's like karma, or it's like that life cycle. You're like, I did that to my parents. Now it's coming back. No, But
again, like, I wouldn't want to change. No. Like, of course, there's the incident that I would change for sure, right? Like, yeah. But again, it made me who I am.
Do over.
Right? And
not many of them.
Would you really want to change it?
I don't know. I think.
Okay, yes, I would. I would change that. I would hope that I would still grow a strong backbone without that.
Yeah, just may have taken different path, a little bit longer, a little bit different. But it does make you who you are, unfortunately, a situation like that. But no, do over. Can I say my kids? No, I'm joking. No, I wouldn't even change that. Like, I wouldn't even change that.
Like, I feel changing following Sean, like when he moved from Sarnia to Windsor, that was a do-over for me. Changing jobs, changing friends, and then even moving here, following him again, changing career kind of thing. So I think you'll always have a little bit of do-over. Is it do-over? Is it just change? I
think it's just change. It's hard to say do-over. I think for me, we talked about it before. Me, I don't think I would change anything. Yeah, I'd like to have more money. I'd like to have this. I'd like to have that. I would not have liked to spend money here. I would like to have tried this travel and not that travel, and maybe done like. But that's just knowing after the experience. That's not really. There's nothing I would ever do over. Wouldn't serve me today. Wouldn't make me who I am today. I wouldn't have been able to learn from that experience, good or bad. I wouldn't have been able to talk from those experiences, good or bad, right? Because you learn a lot in those situations, whether they're good or bad. It just makes you a whole person today, right? I think so.
You've built up that.
And I tell my kids that, I'm like, don't ever regret anything in life. So I don't know, like, I think you're right. No,
don't put out nude photos of yourself, so you're not gonna.
No comment. No comment. We'll just not talk about that one. Not me. No. I promise. But I don't know. No, don't send that text message or don't do this.
Which is like so different from when we grew up.
God,
thank
you imagine?
Goodness.
No kidding, man.
Like, I'm so glad any of my wild shenanigans were not caught on tape.
We only had like Polaroid cameras. That was like the craziest like real life situation I think you could see, right? Or like camcorder. But then you still like, I don't know. Were we ever in that situation where we could get stuff like, I don't think my parents knew a lot. They're not going to know a lot. Keep it at that. Like, I was a pretty good kid.
I was a good kid.
Of course you were a good kid.
I was just wild.
Yeah, but.
And I'm okay with that.
Makes you
like
who you
you're
are.
Exploring, right? That's what you want to do.
Yeah.
You want
and
your
I kind of
kids.
wish my kid had that. I think both. I wish they both had that. Both my kids were in high school during COVID. So I wish Lucas had that. Lucas started in grade 9. COVID hit, out of school in March. Didn't go back till like end of grade 11, whatever it was. And then I'm like,
I get this story from Carter. Carter's my wild child. And he'll be like, he'll drop a little nugget of a story. Every now and again, one will come out. I was like, oh, that's a great story. I love that. You got another one? No, you're not ready yet, Mom.
Was he really that wild, though?
Yeah, I'd say so. He's got some wild stories.
Man, he's such a good young man.
He's a good kid.
Like, to know him today, you'd never put 2 and 2 together.
I would always remind him when he was in high school, because him and I fought, like, right? Because we're two of the same personalities. Yeah, him and
I didn't know.
Sean used to say you're like 2 football players on the football field, and your helmets are locked, and
That's
neither
hilarious.
one of you is going to give
an
inch. And it was very true. It was very true.
You're not like that now.
No.
That's crazy.
But I used to say to him all the time, I said, I know you're really trying to be a badass kid, but you're a good kid. You have a kind heart.
I only remember one story you ever told me, Carter.
The house that we sold?
No, I remember. No,
where
unless you
threw the party?
No.
So we sold.
No, I didn't know this.
Selby.
Yeah.
And it was closing like July 4th. I don't know if that was the day, but and it was like June 30th. Like, it was closing in 4 days. It was the end of the school year.
Oh, I didn't sell that house. That's probably why I didn't know.
That's probably why. So I'm sitting at the schoolyard, sitting in my van. I'm there early in my SUV, not my van. I moved on from the van. But there was a white work van parked in front of me, and I'm sitting there, and I think I was on my phone waiting for school to finish. Carter is playing in the driveway behind me with his friend Nick, and they were hanging out all day. They were going over to friends. They were having a sleepover, all this stuff. Carter's grade 9, I think. I think it's grade 9. Maybe grade 10, but I think it's grade 9. And so I'm sitting there, and the guy backs into my car, and I'm like, hello? Could you not see a whole car parked behind you? Like, what? It's a cul-de-sac. Why on earth did you need to back up? So anyway, so we exchanged numbers, and I'm like, I was so frustrated with that. So I found out later from my yoga instructor, she was like, if anything happens to you, like you get hit or, you trip or something like that, it's the universe trying to tell you, pay attention. You're missing something.
Oh my gosh.
Remember, Carter's in the driveway right behind me playing. Like, they're shooting hoops. Not playing. He'd be very mad at me if I said playing. Shooting hoops. Lego. They're shooting hoops. And so Bailey comes. I go home, blah, blah, blah. Later in the day, I text Dee. And I said, if the kids, like, I can come and grab the boys, if they're over at Lauren's playing and, doing whatever. So I was like, okay. So then I text Lauren's mom later in the night. I'm like, if the kids are still there, feel free to send them back to Nick's. And she's like, they're not here. She's like, give me a minute. She goes for a walk. She walks by our house that is completely empty, completely cleaned.
Yeah.
ready to go in 4 days, and there's a big old party going on in the house.
I did not know that.
Yeah. He hired a bouncer who was a grade 12 kid.
That is even cooler. I'm sorry. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. That's smart.
He was parked in the garage, and he had gotten all the booze. They had gone out and got black lights and soap and toilet paper because there was nothing in the house.
Soap and toilet paper.
So they were all in the basement. They had blacked out the windows so people couldn't see, and they had this good old party going on. So this was probably around 8:30, and so
on Tuesday night. No,
yeah. Yeah, I think this was a Friday. So yeah, right? Like, hello, Karma. That's the do-over. Yeah, my kid. And so she texts me. She goes, I hate to tell you this, but there's a party going on in your house. And I'm like,
Donna, man, what did you do?
I'm like, that little fucker. That was probably what came out of my mouth. So I said to Sean, Carter's throwing a party in the house. I'm going to get him. And he says, nope, you wait here. I'm going.
No.
And I'm like, oh.
I don't see Sean doing that.
This kid is dead. Like, Sean was so mad, and very seldom.
I was going to say, I've never seen Sean mad, ever.
Ever. I could probably count on one hand how many times, and it's usually me that's made him mad. So he goes, and I'm like pacing back and forth. I'm like, I can't believe this kid. What was he thinking? Like, what if someone falls down the stairs? What if something bad happens at this thing, right? Like, so of course there's like holes in the wall.
What?
Mm-hmm. Carpet's dirty. Mm-hmm. This is 8:30. Like, this was very early on.
That's nuts.
So they get home, and they're like laughing and joking when they come in the door, and I'm like,
Sean?
Yeah, and Carter. And I'm like, I'm steaming. Like, I am ready to rip the limbs off this kid. And they walk in the door, and Carter's like, gives me the hand up, and he keeps on walking, and I look at Sean, and I'm like,
what the hell, man?
Yeah, like what? Like why is he alive?
Yeah, why is he alive? Why is he not dead?
And he's like, we've discussed it, and we've come up with a plan, and we've sorted it out. And I'm like, oh, you shit, I need to be mad.
I know.
I need to be like,
like
no,
me.
like, how many times have we told this kid? Like, no. So,
oh my God, I love it.
They went back, fixed the walls, cleaned the carpet. Carter and his friends, they did it. Sean was overseeing the whole situation.
So no second party broke out.
And I said, okay, we're going to look at his leadership skills and his organizational skills, because that's a lot for a kid to pull together this kind of
no kidding
creative environment.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that was our.
Okay, but that's pretty funny.
It is pretty funny.
That's
like,
pretty cool. Smart kid.
I will say, as a mama, I was like super proud that my kid pulled
had
this
party.
off. I know.
You're like, I probably would have done the same thing.
I would have. My parents used to go away to a funeral in Windsor, and I had a party in the house.
I never had a party once in my house.
I did. Like, at a funeral. That's pretty sad.
No, not really.
And then, to top it off, they come back. My girlfriend and I are there. We're a little bit tipsy. Again, we had access to the wine. A little bit tipsy. And we have to go to a Pathfinder meeting. We're like 16.
Yeah, what are you singing?
We're walking around. We're trying to get sober.
No way.
And I'm like,
coffee, water.
This is bad. This is bad. Yeah. So I was.
That's not the story I remember of Carter. I just remember him at the playground at St. Joseph's drinking. Oh. You said, you told me like he was at the left. They were on their bikes. They were at the playground drinking at that night or
they
something.
Used to sneak. So, like, I joke all the time that I drank more before I was of age than I have ever since, which is kind of funny. No. But again,
you got it all in your
I
system.
was sorting it out. I was figuring all my stuff. And once I figured it out, then I'm like, yeah, right. Like, I don't need that. So as adults, Sean never drank. Funny. Sean is like, wine is the only thing that he drank. Probably not until he was like 35 on business trips. So
I wasn't drink either.
And so we had a cabinet full of booze that got drank, and we didn't even know. Yeah. Because we never went in it.
I could see that.
And we found these water bottles, like, you know, the refillable water bottles after a sleepover party in down. Sean found it in his workout room, and it smelled like booze. And we're like, what's this? And that was
Water
these,
in,
yeah,
booze out.
kidlets going around, accessing. So the lock went on. Therapy started. We got through all the things. Yes.
But they're not, like, that's just growing up.
It
like,
is. It's
I don't think
out.
kids really
I just wasn't
have
expecting it like that young.
Yeah.
But it always happens, right? Like, there's so much more
no
information.
Timeline,
so
not a timeline.
There's not. I was not prepared.
We were talking about vaping the other day, and Paul smoked forever, like since I dated him. And I remember Nathan started vaping when he was younger, and I think I talked to you about it. I was so livid, and he was like, no. And I remember Paul going in his room one day and pulling apart his room. He had like his desk, and he was like, he'd like kicked the wall, and I thought it was playing video games. He kicked the wall, put a hole in it, and he was hiding all of his vapes in the wall. I was like, fucking kid, man. I'm like, Paul's like pulling 1, 2. He's like, well, there they all are. Like, they were all in the wall. I'm like, this guy, man. Because we were dealing with something on the hockey team, same thing. But I'm like, what are you gonna do?
They're very ingenious.
Yeah. Like,
yeah,
it's so easily accessible for everything now.
Everything.
And everything is like glamorized through
Yes.
social media or through.
And as the parent, you're always the stupid one that knows nothing.
No, I know. And then you're like, no, it's not my kid. And I'm like, oh, not Nathan. And now Nathan and I go in the car and Nathan vapes. Like he's also 22. That's his own, like,
Yeah.
I have to realize that he's an adult. He's making his own decisions. And you know what? It is what it is. But then Paul's the same. Like, what am I going to say? Like, they're no different. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's hilarious. I didn't know about that.
Carter. It was so funny that
Bailey ever do anything crazy?
No, I remember the first time she got drunk and she was staying over at a friend's.
See her getting drunk.
I know. It was such a shock. And I picked her up the next day, and I was like, oh my God, you're hungover.
Oh, you knew.
Right away. Like, she goes, I know, Mom. I don't want to talk about it. And she went up and she went to bed. And I text her, oh my God, your sister's hungover.
Now we're talking about it. Okay, now we're talking about the other family member. Nathan more so than Lucas, and I think because Lucas plays sports. But like, even a little while ago, we went out for dinner. Lucas was going through something, and Paul's like, let's just go to dinner. So we went out to dinner, and then Paul ordered like flights of margaritas.
Yeah.
I'm like, who are those for? He goes, that guy. Let's get him drunk. Need to calm that guy down. And he's like, really? And I think that's the most I've ever seen him drink. He had like 3, like, they were smaller shots or whatever, but margaritas. But Nathan, yes. Nathan will go out and like, he'll like, I'm going to drink tonight. He'll take an Uber, or he'll have Lucas drop him off, or whatever it is. Or if he's going somewhere, he stays where he is. But Nathan's very open and honest with things. He's like, no, I've only like smoked weed once or something. He goes, I didn't really like the way it made me feel. He goes, I don't drink beer because it hurts my stomach. I only drink, what's a whiskey sour? Whiskey? He drinks whiskey. I don't know. Is that Jack Daniels?
I think Jack is a form of whiskey.
Yeah, I don't know. That's what he usually drinks. So I'm like, whatever. But very rare.
And Bailey was like that. Like, Carter was the party kid. Bailey, it was very rare, and she would have lots of friends over, but it was not like Carter would have friends over and the floor was sticky and everything was messy, and I'm like, could you guys just be clean?
Yeah,
like, I'm
clean
fine.
Party.
Like, I'm fine that you're here. I love that you're here, and
That's
like,
nice.
Don't be idiots.
Are you the parent that had the kids over all the time?
Yes.
Yeah, that's awesome.
They felt comfortable there. I like that. I came down one time and they're having this ping pong party. Like, they're playing ping pong and all the girls are in their bikinis. I came down and I'm like, okay, I'm just going to go up and get my bikini on now so I can come play ping pong with you guys. And Carter's eyes, I think, rolled back in his head. He's like, Mom? I was like, I'm just joking.
Good for you, because I'd be like, what the fuck's going on down here, man? No,
it was like, I was much more happy with.
It's always nice, right?
Right. Like, I knew they were safe. And that's the thing.
I feel like my kids never have anybody over. Like, my kids are like, I'm like Nathan in the house right now has like the whole basement. There's like a living room, bathroom, his bedroom. It's like a whole apartment. I'm like, why don't you have people over? This living room is massive. Like, it's huge. I don't know. It's like living room, dining room size, all one. She's like, yeah, okay, whatever. My kids are like, whatever. I'm like, whatever. They don't really do like that. Like, Nathan will go out, but he says no a lot. He's like, I'm not going out tonight. I don't want to go out. Like one time I'm like, aren't you supposed to be going out? He's like, yeah, I'm kind of tired. I'm just going to stay home. I'm like, really? He's like, yeah. I'm like, okay. Or Lucas, I find, will go out and do more now than he has before. But Lucas is always on the ice. So you kind of feel for him in that situation. Like he's committed like to hockey and training and that sort of stuff. So when he goes out, I'm like, go out and have fun. Like go do something. I don't know what he does. He goes to the movies or something.
Billy had friends over once, and it was wintry. I remember that. And they went out walking in the woods because we were close to one of the trails. And they all came back. And Sean and I will go to bed. And sometimes the pizza guy will wake us up, right? Because they've all ordered pizza and they're in the basement. They can't hear it. But often we're just gone to bed. They're up till 2, 4 in the morning, whatever. So I wake up at some point and I get this text from one of her friends, Michael. And it says, we've looked all over, but we don't know where Bailey is. And I'm like,
what?
I know, right? That is not a text you want to wake up to. And I'm like, oh my God.
She in bed?
Well, I get up and she is in bed at that point. And I'm like, okay, I found her. And so I just, because I know he was worried about it, right? And then turns out the next day I was like, okay, what happened? Because like they were all looking for you and they couldn't find you.
Yeah.
She had gone into the car. She had fallen asleep in the car, in the back seat of the car, while they were out walking in the woods. And I don't know what she was doing.
She's like, I ain't going in the woods.
But she fell asleep in the car, and then they had no idea where she was. And then when she woke up, she's like, why am I in the car? So she went in the house and crawled into bed. It was like...
Good for her.
Oh my
She's
God.
like, I'm not doing that. I'm not going in the woods in the winter. I'm going to sleep all day.
Yeah, so it was kind of funny.
Oh, my kids know.
So every time she was
my
like,
kids have no
hey,
fun
no
stories.
sleeping in the car.
My kids never got to be kids because of COVID.
That's so true.
Like, Lucas never got
It's
to be
so
a kid.
true.
Like, I always tell him, like, you went back to school in grade 12 and then, like...
Yeah.
Like you didn't do anything. Like there's no social skills. Like there was no sports. Like at least if he was playing sports during that time, we probably would have done a lot more with the guys. But they were home. Like Lucas was home every day. Like grade 10 and 11. Like half of 9, all of 10, almost all of 11. And you're like, you did nothing. Like that's like those are the stories that you make you who you are. That's where you learn yes and no.
Those development years.
That's like where you like make friends and you have stories to tell in the future. My kids have no stories. Like they're both in high school and COVID. Like Nathan's graduation was we drove up to the front of the school and he walked out of the car and he shook his teacher's hands and got back in my car. I was his grad. Like sad, right?
It is sad. Yeah.
It is sad, and I feel bad because I'm like, that's why when Lucas says to me like I'm like I want to finish playing hockey, I'm like finish playing hockey, work, enjoy those times, like enjoy, go out, go do something with your friends. We had hockey Friday night. We went to the casino after. Oh my God, it was hilarious. So Paul's so lucky when he goes. He won like $175. My girlfriend was there. She won like $250. Her son was there, who's Lucas' teammate. He won $150. The husband lost money. Her husband lost money. And Lucas and I lost $36 combined because Paul won all the money. So Lucas is sitting there. We gave Lucas $50 to play, right? And we didn't expect him to whatever. Yeah. So he's playing. He's getting mad. I'm like, why are you getting mad? He's like, because I'm not winning anything. I'm like, yeah, but at least you're losing your dad's money, not yours. He's like, yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. But it was nice, like doing more stuff with him now. And it's having them older now, it's fun. Like, I find it fun. Like, I find they're at a good age where we can talk and we can be open and we can be honest. Not that I wasn't before, but there's a lot more real conversations.
I wonder if our parents felt like this. Like, as we got older. Oh, now I like them again.
Well, I would have them up until about 18 months, and then you could take them all the way away till about 18. There's that age for boys that just gets me. And I think as I babysat young, like I babysat starting at 11 years old, and I always babysat boys. I babysat 2 boys next door. I babysat 3 boys down the street. And they're just...
I hated babysitting.
Oh.
With a passion. I hated it.
Oh my God, I babysat all the time. I babysat Friday night,
but
Saturday.
My kids are so lucky they made it through.
I love babysitting, but this is like freaking how many Star Wars can you watch? And I hated Star Wars. There's one family, they used to watch Star Wars every single time I babysat. Oh, what does Nathan watch? Fucking Star Wars all the time. I'm like, oh my God, this
Your
guy.
kids big Harry Potter fans?
No. I think I'm more a Harry Potter fan, but only number 1, the first one. I love the first one. It's so magical. Didn't really like it's. I don't know. I find as they got older, there's different stories. Like it's different storylines. But I found the first one always so magical. I could watch that one over and over again. It's like when Harry learns, and you're like, oh, he's going through the wall and gets the wand. But when we did go to, say Florida, we didn't go to Florida. We went to California. What's it called? Universal Studios.
Yeah.
And they have like the Harry Potter. They have like.
Oh, they have one in California too.
Oh.
I haven't been. It's on my to-do list. I really want to go see it.
So we've been to Florida and what is that? Disney World.
Yeah.
It was good. We went to Disneyland in California. Disneyland in California is much smaller, much more intimate. And I said, I want to go to Universal. So we went to Universal and we bought the VIP pass. It is the best VIP pass you will ever spend your money on. You get catered lunch. You get a special car that drives you around to every ride.
How fun is that?
Yeah, like you really get treated like high roll. You get front of the line. And Harry Potter, like the world just came out. Oh my gosh, it was like we got front of the line of everything. But it was so cool. Like you go into this little room and they open the door and it's the library, and then you get to pick your wand and your wand picks you, and then you use that wand through the whole world to like do things. Like
that's
it's just
so
so
cool.
magical. And that's what like the first one always reminds me of. Your kids maybe a little bit older, that's why.
Carter loved, he read all the Harry Potter books.
Oh, my kids don't read. They don't know
Like,
how. No, I'm joking.
Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
But his Bailey is a huge Harry Potter fan.
Oh,
she
they
has
should
her
go
own
then.
Harry Potter Christmas tree. She has the
Really?
candles that hang. Yeah, like
Oh,
she's
see, like
super,
that. Like I love that.
And we had tickets that first year after things opened up for COVID, and we got to Florida, and then we all tested positive for COVID, so we couldn't go to Disney. Because we were going to do Disney and then do the Harry Potter
Yeah, I think
at the
it's
same time.
Universal.
Yeah,
Is it
but
right?
it's right next door to it.
Yeah. See,
so-
I didn't do Universal in Florida, but I did it in California, and by far, I would do Universal over Disney, but with my boys at least, because
Yeah.
at that time there was Transformers, which was Nathan was all about Transformers. Maybe Indiana Jones too.
I love Indiana Jones. That's amazing.
and then Simpsons. And then
I hate the Sims.
I'm not a Simpsons person either, to be honest with you.
I never
I
let
can't
the
believe it's
kids
still
watch.
on. Oh, my kids.
I never let the
watched it.
kids watch the Pineapple Under the Sea.
Oh, what's SpongeBob?
SpongeBob.
I'm not
And
a
I
cartoon
really-
person.
Oh, I love cartoons, but I wouldn't. They were like, "Mom, why can't we?"
No.
I said, "Because he's mean."
No, my cousin loved them. I never.
Scooby Doo. I love Scooby Doo.
But I think cartoons, like for our generation, were different too. Like I watched them when I was younger.
Funny,
Like,
you watch them and they're like so inappropriate.
Oh my God, I know, right? So bad. Saturday morning, was it Sunday morning, Looney Tunes? Then you have the ones in the morning, like Hercules, Herc, like those, like, right?
Yeah.
Barber Papas. Do you remember the Barber Papas?
No.
Oh my God, look the Barber Papas up. They were like blobs, and it's like Barber Papa. Anyway,
No.
such a weird one. I watched more when I was younger, but not when I was older. Not at all.
Yeah.
I like movies like Toy Story,
Yes.
like Nemo, like those kind of cartoon movies, but I'm not a like let's watch cartoon person.
Even the adult cartoons, I'm
Oh my
not.
God, what a waste of space for me. I can't even process that half the time. Horseman, whatever it's called, I'm like, I don't need. It's like they're so funny. My kids are big anime people though. Don't understand it. They love it. Love it. They watch their own anime channel. They know this. I'm like, good on you.
Funny, totally inappropriate, but funny thing. My first introduction to anime was we were in Italy and we were trying to find something on the stations. It was a freaking anime porno channel. And I'm like, what on earth are we watching? Like, this is, oh my God, change that channel. Like, yeah.
That's crazy.
I'm like, that was my first introduction to
Yeah,
anime.
no.
So now I'm like, no.
No.
I'm not watching.
No, funny. No, I'm not. Cartoons are not my thing. Paul loves cartoons, so you can watch all cartoons. I don't know. I don't have patience for it. I don't know what it is. Sorry.
What drives you knucking futs about saying no?
It's hard to do.
The guilt.
Yeah. For me, it's just hard to do. And I don't know if it's the guilt. Like I said, I'm a yes person. I'm a people pleaser. Easy to say yes. So for me, it's just the hardest thing is not being able to say no all the time and knowing that I should say no, And I'm like, yeah, okay, I can do that. And then I'm like,
Yeah,
why did
I agree.
do it?
We got to get better at it.
We will. Hey, more
You're
experience,
just
more
supposed to
life.
say no. No, I'm not going to.
I will. I promise. I will. I promise I'll do it. No, take it slow. Learn from it. Read about it. Learn about it. There's so much, right? Like if you read about even that, saying no, talking about it, being able to tell your kids no, right? And I think that comes from our experiences, and we go through all of that.
It's not always easy, but it's necessary.
Yeah. And say no.
Yeah.
Just
say no. What was that?
Just say no to drugs, right?
Yeah.
They said they taught your kids that. They taught us that when we were younger. We can't say no to anything. Say yes to everything else, just not drugs.
Just say no.
Thank you for joining us today at the Nucking Futz podcast.
If you like this podcast, please share by liking and subscribing. Feel free to leave any comments and reach us at hello@thenuckingfuts.com.
Just a reminder, this podcast is for entertainment purposes only. If you are struggling, know that you are not alone. Please reach out for professional help.
You can join our newsletter at thenuckingfuts.com to follow our journey. Looking for Donna at work? You can find her great leggings and leisure wear as well at She's Got Legs.
Looking for me, Melissa Hall? You can reach me at Brag About It Jewelry or I am Melissa Hall for real estate.